everyone, it's Macy back here with another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the brand new Summon Showcase that we got information for today. Originally, I was not going to make a video for this, but, well, it was not a filler banner like I expected it to be. It is, in fact, a Halloween rerun. So, we have a lot to cover today, but before we do that, if you do like my content and want to support me, feel free to subscribe and give a like and all that fun stuff. I do appreciate it. And also, thank you for 30 subscribers. I do appreciate it a lot. I know that's not a big number, but that still means the world to me. That 30 people want to hear me blab about this random game that I love. Anyways, let's get on with the video. So, we have a lot of characters to discuss today. As you can see, Halloween is coming back. So, we have Halloween Melsa, Akasha, Mim, Elisan, Lowen, Odetta, Althemia, and Edward for adventurers, and for dragons, Marinimus and Silk. I'm not going to go over every single one, because some of them are just not worth me mentioning, but I'll just tell you right now, Althemia and Edward, I would not suggest going for them, unless you have little holes in your collection, and you really want them to finish your collection, or whatever. You can make the case for Halloween Edward, because he has a pretty decent backline, he has a pretty decent chain co ability, and he's also a blade, so he has that strength 10%, which is very, very nice. Also for Silk, she's pretty much just for collection. Anyways, I'm going to be discussing most of the 5-star, all the 5 stars, and some of the 4 stars, and Marinimus, who is the 5-star dragon today. So, I should stress this. This showcase is limited. These characters are all limited. So if you don't get them before the 28th, or the 27th, depending on your time zone, again, check the in-game notifications. If you do not get them before this time, then they're gone for several months and probably won't be coming back until probably October. On top of them probably having new Halloween units. So if you want anybody from the Halloween roster, this is your best chance before October to get these guys. And I will tell you whether or not you should summon on this. But let's get started with the first unit, Halloween Melsa. I'll just say this straight out. Halloween Melsa's cute. I like Melsa. She's very, very cute. She's adorable. I think she is a cute little rabbit zombie. But she is shit. She is not that good. Do not pull for her. If she's the one thing you do not need, do not pull for her. She's not that good. Unless you really want her shared skill, which does reduce poison defense by 20%. Then you could probably do that. She does have a decent S1, which is increasing your team's strength. Like, these 2 skills, they're fine. They're not that bad. The thing that makes her garbage, though, is this. Her first ability. Upon revival, the user will come back with 80% of their HP. You might be wondering, why is this so bad? Well, the thing is, in Dragalia Lost, you don't want to die. You want to do deathless clears if you can. Because that means you'll get survivability bonuses from quests. And if you get those survivability bonuses, that means you get more rewards. Which will help you, especially if you're grinding certain content. So this basically sucks. It is a waste of a slot. Do not summon for her. She is very cute. I know. It's just her kit, her abilities, not worth it. She's not that good in content anyways. The only thing I'd suggest you doing is get this for her shared skill if you have nothing else to use your Eldwater on. That's literally it. Thankfully for Akasha, I have some nicer things to say. Sorry, Melsa. But, so Akasha on her S1, she can reduce defense by 3%, which is kind of nice. It's also shareable. So if you don't have, say, Xiao Jing or something like that, you could use this. Plus, she can inflict bleed, which bleed is kind of Bleed's not really something people are concerned about, especially since we have all sorts of afflictions now. So bleed isn't really something to worry about that people really take into account, as we're not in the early days anymore. She has the strength ability because she is a water blade, so if you don't have Valerio, she will be a good pickup, especially if you're trying to prepare for Legend Twins in the future, where it is element locked to water, so this will be a really, really nice pickup for that. She also, in her abilities, has the chance to inflict debuffs upon reducing an enemy's defense, which can be kinda good, but her debuffs aren't really, they're kinda so if you care about that, that's fine. But I think this skill is really nice for Lilith. I think she is very much a sleeper pick for Lilith and minion content, but if you have her, you could totally try testing her out, which eventually I will be doing a showcase for her. When that may be depends. I do have a poll for the next 3 showcases, so I will leave the poll in the description if you want to make your voice heard and make her the first one I go over, which means I have to make a blade for her. But that should be fine. She also does have bleeding equals HP recovery, which means whenever she does inflict bleed, she can reduce her own HP, which can lift a little bit of the weight off the shoulders off your healer, especially in Master Lilith. So you won't have to worry too much about healing, but I haven't tested her in Lilith, so that's probably what that video is going to be. So, the in-game notification only mentions last year's Halloween units, so I have Dragalia Wiki pulled up so we can take a look at the other ones. First off, Halloween Mim. She is a mix of her Gala variant and also very support oriented. Her S1 is a debuff, so that's really nice. This could make her viable for Dominion and Zephyr coming up next week, so keep that in mind. She also has this buff too, which is shareable. Unfortunately, because of Curse and Nihility, her buff is dead. So she's not going to be getting off that buff. But say if you have Child Ransel, then you could probably use him as a buffer for strength amping, because normal buffs like this are pretty much dead. She also has the very coveted and rare critical damage co-ability, which I use a lot in my kits for my showcases, so if you want this co-ability for whatever you're working on, go ahead and try to get her. She is one of 2 units in the game that have this, the other being Valentine's Melody. So if you don't have either of them, try to pick her up for this. It'll be really, really nice. So my consensus on Mim is she might be pretty good for Curse and Nihility content. So keep her in the back of your mind if you're trying to prepare for, say, Zephyr or possibly the next Dominion boss. We'll just have to see. Next up is Elisan, the first 5-star, the first limited 5-star in the game. I wouldn't say she's the first 5-star. No, that's false. Completely false. But she is the first limited 5-star in the game. So she's pretty darn old. Halloween Elisand's whole thing is skill shift. And I regret to inform you, skill shift is dead in Curse of Nihility. Curse of Nihility gets rid of skill shift, meaning she can't activate all this, which makes her pretty much dead weight. So if you're thinking of bringing her in to Lilith, please don't. Please don't. Unless you know the proper techniques to skip Curse of Nihility. But overall, she will just be dead weight on your team, whether it be solo or co-op. Just do not bring her because of what I mentioned. But I'd say outside of Dominion, she's okay. It's like you can see her sometimes in Tartarus and all that, which she does perfectly fine in Tartarus. It's just there's a lot of better light options out there, especially Galudin, who just got his spiral not too long ago. Pecorine, Rosarda is a lot better than her. So if you're kind of limited on light options, sure, you could totally use her. But if you're not really stressing for options in light, then you don't need to use her that much, especially since, again, her skill shift is dead in the new endgame content. Next up, Halloween Lowen. If you're not playing last October and did not get a chance to get him, this is your best chance to pick up the best flame healer in the game right now. If you do not have him or Valentine's Hildegard, go for him. Totally, 100% go for him. He'll make your life so much easier for Volk and other flame content. Literally, his S1, he does recovery potency, well, no, HP regen, my bad. It also gives buffs like defense and strength. And this one does the more recovery potency. But basically, he's heals, and also buffs. But in Dominions, because of Curse of Nihility, his unique buffs, his buffs that he gives off his heals are taken off. So it's more or less just for heals, which you do want. He is a great healer. So just because those buffs are gone does not make him garbage. He will be a pretty competent healer. And also pick up his shared skill, too. It's really nice and can help you out a lot. Next, Odetta. I don't really have a lot to say on her because she's very mediocre and very niche. She did get a spiral last October, which allows her to reduce defense by 5% and do a buff on her allies. But this whole thing is dead. This is dead right here. So she can't do her buff, which means one of her abilities is pretty much dead. If you do not have Halloween Akasha or do not get her from this banner, sure, go ahead. Totally use her if you want a reduce defense option, but Forager Cleo was free from the Princess Connect Redive collab back in November, so if you have Forager Cleo and got her to 50 MC, then use Forager Cleo instead. She is a lot better on your budget if you're going on a budget or you are free to play. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about the 5-star dragon Halloween Marinimus. Halloween Marinimus's dragon skill is actually pretty nice for healers. It restores HP to all allies and creates a buff zone that lasts for 10 seconds and increases the skill damage of the adventurers inside of it. So basically, this can help strengthen up his DPS teammates. And it's also really good for healers because it's water HP and skill haste, and healers want that skill haste so they can get their heals faster. So if you do not have him, totally go ahead and go for him. So, what is my total consensus on this banner? I know I went through a lot of information, but if you want to look at the characters more in depth, I will totally leave a link in the description to Dragalia Wiki. They have a lot of useful information for people, including veterans and new players alike. I totally recommend using Dragalia Wiki if you want to look up what a character does or anything like that. So, my consensus is on this banner. If you are new and were not around for, say, last October, when we last had Halloween characters, and you do not care about Fire Emblem, sure, go ahead. At least try to get Halloween Lowen and stop. Because he will make your life so much easier in flame content. But if you are saving for Fire Emblem, I would suggest skipping this banner. I know it looks pretty darn tempting because these are seasonal units, but if you care more about Fire Emblem characters, especially Peony, because Peony is really good for light content, then skip this banner. Skip this banner because these guys will come back eventually in October, and some of these are dream summonable, so if we ever do get a dream summon, then you could possibly dream summon, say, Halloween Elisane if you want to. So keep that in mind. And also, if you have most or all of these characters, skip. Just skip. Especially, again, if you care about the Fire Emblem stuff coming up next month. For me, personally, I'm only missing one thing, and it's Halloween Marinimus, so I'm just gonna skip. Especially since I want to build up a stash again after Human Mercury, so I am prepared for Fire Emblem, so I can get the stuff I need and get out to, expand my collection. But, anyways, all in all, this banner totally depends on your needs and wants right now, but I'd say this banner is completely bait. It is trying to make that wait for Fire Emblem super duper hard. And on top of that, after this, we're having the Rage of Bahamut event. So, if you care about the Rage of Bahamut characters, even though most likely they're in general pool, just skip this. Just skip this. Completely. This is complete bait. But, anyways, enough of my rambling. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.